Hi, this is James Zap from the Dapper Den Barbershop in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and today we have Dave.
Hey.
All right, Dave, what are we doing today?
Well, I want it pretty short on the sides, kind of a 1 to 2 on the side.
Okay.
Longer on the top, I use the sea spray.
Okay, yeah.
And kind of let it just kind of get mussed up.
Yep.
And then beard kind of short. I need length taken off because it's at the length right now where short collars kind of push it out like this.
Okay.
And then it stays.
Yep.
So I use a styling balm. I want to kind of get it rounded into the into this shape of the face.
Okay.
Mustache, I like it as it is. I haven't kind of the George V look, which
King George V.
King George V.
King George V.
Yeah, I got a picture right here.
Okay. Hopefully they can bring up like a video or a picture on like.
So it's got the long mustache, shorter beard here, but I want my beard a little bit longer with the longer mustache.
Yeah, so like the big curly.
The curlier, yeah,
mustache.
not a rounded up like that, but kind of out and curled a little.
All right,
bit.
you want me to clean up all like the wispy,
clean up the crap
this
there.
you got there. Okay, cool. So you were talking before that you dye your beard with the Just for Men stuff.
Right, and the problem is kind of matching the right color because my head hair and my facial hair has always been a different shade.
Okay.
So this is kind of a light brown, but it doesn't go gray. If it was the kind of the salt and pepper look, it'd be great, but it's kind of this dirty whitish brown.
And you didn't dye it before?
No, not for a couple weeks.
So what we're gonna do when we do cut it,
yeah.
we're probably gonna take about maybe an inch off because you want to look like that photo of King George V, right?
George V.
King George V. So we're probably gonna take about maybe a good inch off of the beard.
Okay.
And when we cut it, it might look a little strange,
right?
Because we don't know what colors are underneath and everything like that. And when I cut it, what's going to happen? So after you do that, we can decide how you want to dye it or anything like that.
Right.
We're not going to dye it here. You're going to do that
right
at home. Okay.
Perfect.
Cool. So let's get started, man.
Okay.
Here we go. So before I continue with the Beardbrand video right now, I did read a lot of the comments in my last video about my attitude towards the cameraman, towards the person. I just want everyone to know that's watching this that the cameraman is my boss, my friend, Jared. Say what's up.
What's up?
This is just how we joke around. We just have a good time like
Nothing
that.
has to be perfect.
Nothing has to be perfect. We have a good time. That's our sense of humor. I hope that I didn't rub anybody the wrong way when I did that, and I apologize for that. But, and also the people that we have here, we know very well, Dave and I.
This is a closed set. Nobody's here.
Nobody's here right now. We're just having a good time doing this, so I hope my attitude didn't offend anybody. And I am taking that criticism, and I'm going to try to work on that in this next video. So hopefully it works out good. But let's start with the haircut. So this is a, I'm going to start with a 2. Get the right clip on first. You don't do that. So this is a 2. This is a Speedo guide like I used in the last video. And we always have to disinfect and
for 10 minutes.
Lubricate.
Make sure that's clean.
That's clean.
Did you disinfect today?
I sprayed it in you. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Everything's disinfected.
Everything's, my right nostril is very disinfected.
Also, another comment I got, have a comb in my hands at all times. So I know he's gonna go this way with his beard right now as I slip on the floor. So I'm just gonna establish my top line first with the 2. Being careful about the beard there. We don't want to go too low. We just want to hit the right line. So he's got a little bit of a cowlick right there. I'm going to try to work with that because there's the messy look, so that does help with us right now.
Didn't work so well in high school when I actually had a part.
Okay, cool. So now we're gonna switch over to a 1 because I got the 2 pretty much established. And as my boss says, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Why doesn't it have to be perfect?
I don't know, because we're fake.
We don't know. We don't know.
I just broke my clippers because of you. All right, so now we're moving to our 1. Still a Speedo guide. It's not a red one, but it's a black Speedo guide, but it's a Speedo guide nonetheless. And now we're going to start establishing our 1 line. Get all them hairs out of here. feel weird. I feel like I can't joke around as much anymore.
Oh, you could definitely
I
joke.
feel like I don't know. I don't want to say anything angry.
But you're the angry barber.
The mad barber.
The mad barber. Mad barber sounds better, like I said. I think everybody needs a nickname in life. You just gained yours on the internet.
If anyone's curious as to why I was yelling at the cameraman last time, you can hear him now. It's
Yeah.
It's a natural reaction.
Oh my god.
No more Mr. Nice Guys.
Just doing the same thing, kind of going around the ear, putting that one line pretty low. Make sure I'm getting all those hairs. I'll get those out with the liner though, if I have to. All right, so I established my line here. A lot of guys are doing drop fades right now. That's some people's personal preference. I just don't prefer a drop fade. That's not the way that I learned from my boss / the cameraman. But I like a nice line right around here. Some guys like that nice big drop on the side. That's just a personal preference. You know, let me know what you think. Do you like a drop fade or a regular fade in the comments?
Just like a tattoo artist, they're good at certain things. Black and gray, color, so on and so
So
forth.
we're going back to the haircut now. It's,
So how's that beer taste, by the way?
so we're just gonna open up our clip just a little bit and go right above that one line that we created. As I'm going up, I'm not going straight up. I'm kind of doing just a little bit of a pull off, just so you can hear the clipper a little bit. And you can see we're probably creating another line right now above his head. But we're gonna get that out when we open up our clipper a little bit more. All right, so now we did that. Now we're gonna open it up a little bit more. And just hitting that line. You can kind of just hear it clicking. Again, kind of pulling off at the same time. All right, so now we're gonna open it up all the way, and we're gonna go pretty much up to that line that I created with the 2 right now. Now this is something I'm curious about, is that I talked about it in the last video. I would like to see somebody comment on the comment section what it is. If this is closed, this is a 0. If this is open, is this a 1 or is this a half? Because I consider it to be a full 1. That just helps me out with my cuts, because when I go up to try to fade that, it kind of goes close to the 2 right now. Let me know what you think, because I'm not sure, and we have a debate about that all the time. Even with other barbers in the Northeast, we have debates about whether it's a 1 or a half. Somebody said 3/4 one time. I don't know if they knew what they were talking about. I think they were just trying to play middle. Be Sweden on that one. So I'm kind of just going up, right up to that line. Just getting all that out. I really like fading with the salt and pepper, because it just blends really nicely. You don't see any hard lines. Black hair or darker hair is really hard to fade out. You see the lines a lot more dramatically. One of the guys, the barber in Philadelphia, talked about if you had a white piece of paper and you drew a black line across it, you'd see it a lot easier if you took like a yellow line or you know, a white line even, if that makes sense, and put on a white piece of paper. So now I'm going to start doing my outlining. I know there's still a line up here. I'm going to hit that with scissors and some thinning shears or texturizing shears, depending on what you're using them for. So I'm just using my Andis cordless T outliner. I got this the other day. It's amazing not having
Cordless is the way to go, so you don't have any noises, right, James?
Yeah, no ring on your
Clipper.
Isn't that doesn't have to be perfect, guy?
I think so.
Just going around the ears, getting all that stuff and lining it up. And the same thing on this side. So I tend to, when I'm doing a beard, I'll sometimes just kind of line it up a bit, just get some of the stragglers out. You can see we got some of those there, because I know I'm going to take them down anyway. But especially those right there. Going around here. Now this is always a spot people always try to wonder, because sometimes you see necklines that are too high, they're way too low and stuff like that. If you were to wear a collar, usually my rule of thumb, what I learned is usually like an inch above the collar. So I'll probably kind of do that, but then I see he's got a cowlick right there. So I'm gonna try to go into the cowlick right about there. And then at the end, I'm actually gonna take it down a little bit lower and have it a nice fade in. Taper, if you will. All right, so now moving on to the top right now. Just gonna wet it. I know you don't do a hard part or anything like that, but I'm just gonna use a part to work with it so that when you blend it up, it's gonna look nice. Now we're just gonna go into the shears. I'm just gonna kind of take off some of the length that I don't like right there. You can see some of that in the scissors. I'm just gonna kind of go around the head and take all that off. These are Hattori Hanzo shears.
Those are gorgeous.
Jesus, man, come on. I didn't talk during yours at all. So now I'm gonna be using a
Take
lot
three?
of. Come on. So for the top, like I did with the side, I'm gonna be doing scissor over comb. Just I'm a lot more comfortable with it. It helps out with speed if you're really busy in the shop, and also it's gonna help because he does like the messy look. So it's not gonna be completely evened out.
Doesn't have to be perfect.
Stop saying that, man. And sometimes I like to bring it over to this side. In case the hair does fall this way, it doesn't look completely ridiculous. All this is cut pretty well, good. All right, so now you can still see we got some lines, we got some blotchiness here. We're gonna clean that up with our thinning shears. All right, so these are my thinning shears. I'm not necessarily gonna be using it to thin out the hair. I'm more using it to texturize the hair so that when it falls, it fades nicer. So some things are being cut, some things aren't gonna be cut. So I'm not going completely flush like this. I'm gonna come up and just take off just those little ends and stuff like that. Here we are at the legendary crown of the head. So again, I'm bringing it up and I'm just cutting off those tips right there. Jared, you're kind of quiet. You haven't said anything in a while.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
So right now he's got a cowlick down here, which I'm going to take some of the weight off because it seems to be keeping his hair up like that. So I'm just going to take that and just thin it out a little bit. All right, so we're looking at this side before that I chopped into with the thinning shears right now, and I'm still not happy with how that's falling. So what I'm gonna do now is Hattori Hanzo makes these shears right here. They're bigger and they have a bigger gap. Essentially what this is doing is it's point cutting mostly, but just with one snip. So I'm not sitting there and going like this over this, taking my fingers and doing that. It's doing it in one snip. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna find those tips right there and give it one snip. One snip. Just kind of a couple other places. Now you find a lot with the salt and pepper is what I've found is that your mind kind of plays tricks on you a little bit because you think there might be a line there or something like that. You find yourself going over something more than once or twice. Right there though, that's definitely some thickness I want to get rid of. So again, taking it just one single hit. It's already looking better. So also something I'll do with salt and pepper just to make sure is I'll put the 2 clip on that I started with, maybe open it up a bit and go back over and make sure I got everything that I wanted to get. This is just a 2 clip all the way open. Just making sure I got all that stuff off. I'll close it, bring it down a little lower, make sure everything's off. All right, so now we're gonna do the beard.
Right.
Dave, you all right with the hair so far?
Yeah, it looks good.
Good. We're gonna put some product in it at the end, maybe some sea salt that you've been using, just give it that kind of messy look on top. All right, so for the beard, I'm gonna go with a 6 Speedo guide, and I'm gonna go down with the grain. Now, I wanna start with a 4, but again, I'd rather start longer and then kind of work my way down just in case. So we're just kind of lightly going out. And again, I talked in the last video, I'm kind of going and I'm not pushing against it. I'm kind of pulling out here right as the last thing. Am I right? Am I right?
That's what she said.
That's going to get some bad reviews right there.
Or he, whatever. We don't discriminate.
And always, he wants to keep this mustache thick. Just getting all these things off right here. I'm being very, very light right here. Mustache where it is. Over to the other side. Again, just kind of getting to that jawbone and just kind of pulling off a little bit. The mustache out of the way. here, again, I'm going very, very light in the front. I want to keep a little bit thicker down there, so I don't want to take off too much. So the thing with this is if I had this off, if I went like this, I'm telling people the reason that I'm kind of pulling off is that I have this off, but if I went in like this, all that hair down there is just gonna get taken off and ripped off of him. So we wanna kind of pull off, kind of go with the shape of his face. So I got a good amount of length off, so now I'm gonna start hitting it with a 4 like I wanted to in the first place, because I wanna get this kind of pretty tight on the sides. Because I know I have a 6 over here, what I'm gonna start to do is I'm gonna start to turn the clipper this way. Let's get the mustache out of the way. Turn the clipper this way, so it's kind of almost blending with it a little bit. It's just a little bit getting taken off there, and as we come back in, it's kind of flat against this face. We're also going to blend this in with clipper over comb. All right, so now we're just going to lean his head back right now, so I can get that back all the way back. Good, comfortable?
Yeah.
Very good. All right, so we're just going to kind of pull it out with a comb. We had some talk in Jared's last video that he did about straightening a beard, when to straighten a beard when cutting it and stuff like that. One guy mentioned that you should probably just leave the hair natural and everything. That's a good way to look at it. We do come across some beards that we do just need to straighten right off the bat because we can't get in there. It's too curly, it's too thick and everything. It's too much of a mess. This one doesn't need to be. This is well taken care of. So we're gonna take about probably an inch to a little bit more off that so it's out of his collar right now. Just gonna find my starting point. I usually like to start a little bit lower than I'm actually gonna go up and just kind of go straight in. Good amount of length off. I think we're done.
Best work
I think
ever.
it's the best work I've ever done.
See you next time.
The half beard. I'm always going back, looking at what I might have missed and stuff like that. From a different angle. Okay, so now we're going to start to blend this in on the side here. So you can see how much hair there is compared on the comb with this. So this obviously starts to stick out. So we kind of want this to blend in, fade in nicely. So I talked about in the last video, we're going to kind of keep it flush, and we're just going to gently kind of pull off with that. I'm gonna pull that out. I'm kind of continually moving the comb out, 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 and out. While I'm over here, I might do something else, like kind of touch this up. Kind of save some time. Okay, so you saw what I was doing with the clippers right now, kind of cutting in. He doesn't like it super sharp. He kind of wants it round. He doesn't want a sharp edge. So what we're gonna do now is we're taking our thinning shears right now. You got those? Mm-hmm. And we're gonna go in and we're going to just kind of take off that edge just by taking off a little bit of that. So it's kind of a bit of a softer, not a hard line. I'll go up here, I kind of see a little bit of thickness. I'll kind of go there and just kind of soften that up a bit. It's looking a little bit better like that. Okay, so now we're gonna kind of just clean up a little bit of the ends. He wants to keep the walrus style mustache going with the handlebars on the end. That's not me calling him a walrus, that's just the style of mustache. So what we're gonna do is using our handy dandy Beardbrand comb. Hey. We're just gonna kind of pull it out a bit. And I'm really not looking to take a lot of length off of this at all. Just kind of getting those ends off and just making it even. Just kind of barely, you can barely hear it touching and barely hear it hitting, but it's just getting that any straggle bits off on him. That's a walrus mustache right there. Look at that thing. I can't even see your lips. Look at that thing. Oh my god. Cool. All right. Okay, so you talked to me last time. You said I did the line in your mustache, and you like that a lot?
That worked really well.
Okay, so with a handlebar mustache, you have a mustache like this. What helps is that you pull up the mustache like this, because we need to separate. When you curl the mustache, you need to be able to separate it from the beard part of it itself. I like to pull the mustache up, kind of find the hairs that kind of split the lip, and kind of follow this line, and just kind of tap a line right in there. Some guys are very hesitant about doing this because they're afraid you're gonna be able to see it. You won't, because your mustache is so big. It's gonna be like that. Now you can be able to grab your mustache and just go right up with it. Go back in, check it out, make sure I got everything. So that's a good solid line right there, which is gonna help him establish his handlebar mustache when he needs to. We do the same thing on the other side right now. So we're pulling it up. Kind of finding that lip line right there. All right, so now we got a hot towel right now for Dave. Just testing it on our arms, making sure it's not too hot. It's pretty good. If you could just pick your head up a little bit. Other way, chin up, I'm sorry. There you go. All right.
Can you just get out of the chair, please?
Nope, it's good.
All right, still good. So we're just gonna put this on him. This is gonna open up his pores and make it a little bit easier for me to shave. All right, so right now we're gonna be using some of the gel right now. I used the Parasso soap last time, but the gel does make it a little bit easier because I can see what I'm doing in all the lines and everything. Apply that there. Take my razor. And with this, we're stretching the skin. We're gonna line it up. So now we're gonna start with his neck right now. We just lined up both sides of the cheeks. Now we're gonna start with the neck. So the thing you gotta check in with the neck is which way the hair is growing, because everyone's hair grows in different directions. You might have a cowlick or something like that. You can see the hair is kind of going up and then it's coming down. I wanna go with the grain as much as possible. I'm gonna pull this hair back. Just kind of going against it. We're going with the grain, I should say. So right now we finished the shave. You good with the shave?
Yeah.
Good. Excellent. Hair's good. All right, so now we're just going to style up the beard just a little bit before he goes. What do you got, a concert, you said? Rehearsal?
No, rehearsal.
Rehearsal. Bassoon player, of course. They all know they're notorious for giant beards.
They are all, everyone I know.
So we're going to use the sea salt spray, Jared. Right now we're going to use the tea tree in this. We're also going to use it in your hair. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in first into your beard. Just give it a couple little sprays here. Work it in. I'm going to blow dry this in for you, especially the mustache. I want that to kind of lay down on the top. So I went over this before. You take a blow dryer, medium heat, and you're going down, and he wants this to curve in, so we're going to kind of curve it in. But after this, we're also going to straighten it out as well at the same time with a straightener. You know if that gets too hot for you, all right? That's good. So right now we're using a beard straightener. This is Annex. I actually don't know how to say it. If you look it up on Amazon, you just type in Ionic beard straightener. This is the first one that comes up. It's like 40 bucks. It's fantastic. I just want to straighten it out a little bit. We've got a little hold with the sea salt spray right now. I'm also going to straighten out this mustache too. So when I put the product in it, it's going to be able to let me do what I want with it. So I have it set on 340. That's usually a good temperature for beards. And again, let me know if this gets too hot on you at all. So I'm just going down with this beard right now. And I'm going up and getting those hairs underneath straight too. All right, before we hit this part, Jared talked in the last Dapper Den video that we did for Beardbrand that this has got some wave to it. You can see there's kind of like a little bit of a crease in there. What you want to do, there's a guy on YouTube that talks about this one that you want to do. You want to think of it like an ironing board, in that if I'm going against it like this, it's going to curve to that. So what I want to do is I want to take the beard, bring it up a bit, and just kind of push it against a flat surface and straighten that bit out as best I can. Let me come back over, bring it down. That got some of that wave out. With this, with the mustache, as you see, I'm going out like this because I'm letting the hair go the way it wants to go. Is it too hot? Good. The same thing on the other side. Okay, so now we're gonna style up the beard a little bit. Straightening worked out phenomenally. And right now we're gonna use some of the Temple Smoke styling balm.
Hold on. Boom.
Good, you got it?
Boom.
Okay, excellent. So this is just basically gonna give it some style. It's in terms of a clay. It's not a leave-in conditioner or anything like that. His beard is pretty soft as it is right now. So use about maybe that much. Just gonna rub it in our hands, get it warm first. And we're gonna push it in the direction we want it to go. And what's great about this styling balm is that you can use it to do the handlebar mustache as well. So in the last video I talked about the handlebar mustache, how sometimes they get a little too long. Like this side, for example, is longer than this side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our scissors, our shears, I'm sorry, and we're just gonna try to match it up, again, a little bit at a time. So what's also good about the tea tree sea salt spray, or any of the scents that they have for the sea salt spray, you can use it in hair too, which you said you used before.
Yeah.
For your hair? Yeah. So we're just gonna spray a little bit of this in. This is gonna give it some texture, a little bit of hold. Rub it in. He kind of likes that messy look. Kind of get it all worked in there. All right, what do you think, dude?
That's good.
You like that?
Yeah.
All right, right on, man.
Perfect.
Very cool.
All right, guys, stop. Before you watch our next video, let me tell you, our sea salt spray. This product is amazing for your hair. It gives movable texture. It's like a dry shampoo, so if you go in between days of washing your hair, it'll help your hair extend a little bit longer, and it smells absolutely amazing. Find it over at beardbrand.com.